Hello and blessings, my brothers and sisters. Today, I'm going to share with you a little bit about free will, right? So we've all heard that God has granted us free will. But what is that? What is free will? It's a combination between freedom and will. And freedom is the ability to know our options, the ability to understand the choices that we have. And will is the ability to follow through and make an intentional choice. So we've heard that God has granted us free will, and we are all born with free will. But immediately in our lives, we learn to give this free will away. We do this in so many ways. We give our free will to people when we ask to these people, what should I do? Where should I go? What do I have permission for? We have given our free will to that person. We give our free will to ideas or stories. When we believe that this is what is happening in the world, that is all that we can see. We do not have the freedom to see a different perspective. When we lock into an idea or a story, sometimes it cuts off our free will and forces us to respond to the world in certain ways. We can give our free will to our habits, to the things that we do each day, so we no longer have a choice as to whether or not we do them. These habits can colonize our lives, colonize our free will, and we end up going through the same routines, the same cycles over and over again. We can give our free will away to our fears or our regrets or our sadness, and we can relate with these feelings and with these memories in a way that keep us from seeing the world, in a way that close everything in so that we can only see one path in front of us. And when it is our fear and our regret and our sadness that cause us to close in, the path that we can see will be the one that reflects fear and regret and sadness. When we learn to reclaim our free will from these things, we can see once more, and we can see paths that might lead to joy, paths that can lead to us relating with the world in an inspired and motivating way, full of love, full of grace. We often give our power without even realizing it. We give our free will away to our emotions. When we don't listen to our emotions and we try to push them down, then sometimes we get triggered and they run away with us. The emotion comes up and we react. And when we reacted, we didn't have a choice. We were not operating from a place of freedom. In order to get our freedom back, we have to learn how to feel these emotions without being pushed into unconscious reaction. So all of these things, to people, ideas, stories, fears, habits, regrets, emotions, we give our free will, we give our freedom, we give our attention, we give our power away to these things. So while all that you see around you, everything in the world, in the human world, is a product of will, very little of what you see around you is a product of freedom. If we wish to have free will, we must reclaim it. Every one of us is a warrior of the soul, put into this battleground so that we can reclaim the free will that we have given away, and so that we can once more act aligned with inspiration and in service of the Lord. So if we are to reclaim this free will, we have to pull it back from the things that we have given it to. And I mentioned many things that we can give our free will away to. Sometimes we give our free will away to thoughts, to ideas and stories. And if we have given our free will away to a thought, the way to reclaim that free will is to stop and re-examine that thought. This is what it means to repent. Repent comes from the Latin pent, to think. So to think again, to change the way that we were thinking about something, which first means that we have to look at a story. So say that you believe that the world is hard and it will never get any better, and that's the kind of life that you experience. That is a story. And while you believe it, it means you have invested your will in that story. You have given away your free will to that story. And if you wish to have freedom so that you no longer have to experience life in that way, the key is to look again at that story and shift your perspective. So instead of seeing life as toil and drudgery, instead you see it as a gift, a blessing. That's just one way to reframe a particular story so that we can reclaim our personal power from it, reclaim our free will. If it is an emotion, a fear or a bit of sadness or a bit of anger that we have given our free will away to, then the key to reclaiming the power that we have given to that emotion is to feel the emotion. Our emotions rule us when we try to run from them, when we try to push them away or ignore them or be in denial of them. No, I don't feel that way. When we try to say to ourselves, no, you shouldn't feel that way, you should feel like this. All of these things suppress our emotions. But when you suppress them, they don't go away. They just hide from our conscious mind. They're still in our body. They're still in our energy field, and they still influence every moment of our lives. So the way to reclaim our personal power back from an emotion is to allow ourselves to feel that emotion in the body. Let it land. Let the body respond to it. Let it peak and breathe. Don't worry about why you have it. Don't make a story about it. Just let it process in the body. And when you process this old emotional charge, you bring that energy back in to what you can work with. You reclaim that power. You reclaim that free will so that you are no longer a slave to these old feelings. If you find that you have given your free will away to a person, that you are looking to a person to give you something that you need, whether it is love or food or money or anything like that. If you have given your free will away to a person, the first thing to do is forgive them. Forgive them, and if need be, forgive yourself. Sometimes forgiveness in this case is most powerful if we have given our free will away to a person, to our idea of a person. We say, oh no, I don't like this person. This person is always a problem for me. And whenever they come into our presence, we feel a tension, we feel uncomfortable, we get pulled off center. In those cases, forgiveness is the fastest and most direct route to reclaim your freedom from your idea about this person. On a physical level, if you are able, do what you can so that you are not dependent upon this person. On an emotional level, let go and find your center in yourself. Remember that you are worthy because you are life, not because people like you, not because someone gives you permission, but because you are life. So take your power back if you find that you have given it to a person. Take your power back by doing all that you can to fulfill your needs yourself so that you're not dependent on them. If you have given your free will away to a habit and you no longer have a choice about that habit, then there's no easy way to do it. The way to reclaim your free will, your personal power from that habit, is to starve that habit of your attention. Remember, everything is energy. So when you do a habit, you are giving, you are paying energy to that habit again and again. That energy has to go somewhere. So if you would like to stop this habit, you can take this energy and put it into something else. So instead of doing this unhealthy habit, you may instead choose to put this energy into taking a walk, or put this energy into meditating, or put this energy into creating something beautiful. Take the energy that was lost in your habit and put it into something else. And slowly, slowly, we retrain our minds, our hearts, and our beings to put energy here instead of there. And we reclaim that power from that habit. When we're discussing power, because now we're talking about reclaiming our power, our free will from our thoughts and our emotions and from the people and our habits. When we're talking about power, we must remember that every single one of us wields power in the lives of one another, sometimes in big ways and sometimes in these little teeny ways. So we work together with our family, with our community, to meet not just our physical needs, but also those of our minds and hearts and spirits. Each action that we do, it impacts the world. Everything that we do, it leaves a trail of consequence. And when we act in grace and with kindness, this leaves a trail of light throughout our lives. When we act in service to one another, with respect and with love and with forgiveness, then we smooth one another's paths. We lift one another up. We become angels in one another's lives. And this starts, all of this, what I'm sharing with you, all of this beauty starts with you right now in this one moment. When we reclaim our free will in all the tiny and myriad ways that we have given it away, we now have a choice. We have a choice as to what we will do with this energy. We have a choice as to how we will use our power. And with power comes responsibility. With every way that we can, when we shine light and warmth and support into the lives of others, the community strengthens. And this light and love and support is returned to us tenfold. But don't give with an expectation of something in return. Give from the goodness of your heart. Give understanding that you are supporting the one. And when you support the one, all of what you are connected to is supported in the highest and best way. So do these things in service to the Lord and in service to your fellow beings, and even in service to yourself, because you are part of this ecology. You are an expression of the Lord as well. And each one of us is tasked with honoring our own needs and the needs of those around us to the best of our abilities. Remember, the wise person knows that when one rises, all rise. And when one falls, all feel it. So this is all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me, my brothers and sisters, and I wish you an amazing day.